Good morning, Namaskar, Jai Hind, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. In the series of my talk about Defence Forces, Career Beyond Excellence, I have till now in part 1 covered the ethos, work culture, high expectations from the society and the challenges faced by the officers in the defence. In part 2, we had seen how this career goes beyond excellence and is certainly better than the best in its class. In the part 3, I spoke about the methodology of joining Defence Forces, overall methodology, and what are entry levels that you can get into the Defence Forces when you get inspired. And today is the concluding session of the series of discussion about Defence Forces. I will discuss about the Services Selection Board, a mystery to many of us. Many, all those who have passed, do not know that how they passed. All those who fail feel how they did not able to get through. And everybody who wants to become an officer, who aspires to become an officer in the Defence Forces, has to go through this SSB, except the doctors. And therefore this SSB is very intriguing to many of us who wish to join Defence Forces. Now let me give you my personal example. I passed out in the 3rd attempt. I didn't know why I failed for the 2 chances. And finally when I passed, how did I pass? But today, after 36 years of experience in Army and being in senior positions, and after discussing with various examiners, GTOs, interviewing officers and the experts in the field, I am today well qualified to guide you through this system. I feel amused to find on the YouTube, series of videos in which person says how to crack the SSB. He's just passed one SSB examination and he gives you tips on how to go through the interview, what all you should be preparing for the interview. He doesn't even know what quality did they see to pass him. I even don't know till today, while he has become an expert after qualifying one SSB. There are officers who have very limited experience in this field, but by the very fact that they are from the defence background, they pose or show themselves as very qualified experts, and therefore they have authority on explaining things about the Services Selection Board. It's not so. Let me tell you the basics about the Service Selection Board and then leave it to you how it functions. The Services Selection Board for selecting the defence officers is the best method in the country. And let me tell you, this practice is also followed globally in most of the countries, like in Pakistan, UK, Europe, similar method in US, and others may not have such elaborate system, but this is comparable with by far the best in the developed countries available. Now what happens in SSB? If I tell you in the basics preliminary, in the stage 1 on the first day when you reach there, they carry out a screening test, a preliminary screening, and those students who are absolutely not meeting the criteria, they are screened out, and the 2 tests are held in the screening, which I'll cover later, and subsequently a full SSB is held for the 4 days. So it's a interview method spanning over a period of 5 days. Now during the main test, their psychology test, their group test, their personal interviews which are held, and for those who want to become pilot, it's pilot aptitude test, or today it is called computerized pilot selection system, which is held. There is a website prepared by Army SSB Bhopal, gomilitary.in. Kindly refer to it in great detail. For most of the students come to me and ask, my SSB interview call has come, how should I prepare? As I covered in the past series, part 3, you pass the UPSC examination or you are selected in the merit as per the defence headquarters, and you are informed well in advance. You get about 1 month to 3 months notice that your SSB will be held during this period. So therefore you have adequate time at hand to prepare for the SSB. Now how should one be preparing for the SSB? There are various things. People say there's no need to prepare, you just be normal and don't do anything. While others feel that you've got this time, why not carry out good preparation and go with all your capability, all your force, all your talent, and get selected in one go. So when they come to me, I can just share a few tips with you for preparing for the SSB. First and foremost, gain knowledge. We are not looking for people with very, very high IQ. We are not looking for geniuses. The defense forces are looking for people with little above average IQ, person who is little above the average in the IQ and who has got good knowledge about what is happening around, knowledge about his own place where he is living, knowledge about his school, knowledge about his friends, knowledge about the area to which he belongs to, knowledge about the country, knowledge about the neighboring countries, knowledge little about the history and culture of our own civilization, a little about the current affairs, what is happening in the world. So kindly use this time to gain knowledge, because there's no end to gaining knowledge. You should have a reasonably good knowledge. Secondly, physical fitness. Army, there is a strenuous physical work, and therefore though a normal fitness person should at the young age should be able to qualify. However, if you increase your stamina a little, do a little running, get into a good shape, hit the gym for some time, you come out a little more physically fit and gives you a little more confidence in yourself. Carry out a little personality development. Be a good citizen. Imbibe a little positivity. Start thinking logically. If a problem is given to you, how will you overcome that? Break it into various stages. Think about it and present your decision making, your thought process into a coherent manner. Because these are the things which will be asked to you. And develop a little competitive spirit. That is certainly which is the hallmark of the defense forces. Now this question is often asked to me, sir, whether I should undergo coaching or not. Boys and girls, today there are large number of coaching institutes who claim that they prepare you well, they guarantee you that you will be able to pass SSB. Some of them even say that we conduct a coaching for 20 days. If you do not pass, we will return half of your money. So the students are lured into a system which they feel that they must be having some setting with the SSB. And therefore they can go through these people, pay them little extra, and they will be able to go through the SSB. Let me assure you that this is totally a myth. There is no setting with any coaching. No coaching can get you through the SSB by dubious methods. They only prepare you well. They know how to prepare you well. They may prepare you well, coach you, but ultimately you are the one who has to go through the SSB. You are the one on the field who has to perform and go through. And secondly, the coaching gives you just a guidance. Use that. If you want to do a short coaching, gives you a small capsule to guide you, to channelize your thoughts, give you a method of preparation, and leave it at that. When you go for the SSB, be original, be a little polished, and let me also tell you various tests which are conducted. The SSB or the people at the SSB are trying to paint a picture of you. They are trying to find out that the candidate who has come, they have not even seen your face, which they see in the end. What sort of qualities is there? So out of various tests, they put, like the system you must have seen, wherein the photo of a film star or famous personality is broken into various pieces, into a jigsaw puzzle, into a mosaic, and then you fit in those pieces of the jigsaw puzzle, and then a picture emerges of the personality, and you say, oh yes, this is Amitabh Bachchan. So something like that. The various tests are these small chits which tell you a little about that personality. So if you put them correctly, your picture may come out to be of a good person. However, if you don't utilize this, every test gives you either a positive stroke, say a green card, or gives you a red stroke towards your personality, say a red card. Or you may not use that personality card to enhance your personality. It may give you a very neutral effect on the people on the examinations, and therefore we can say it is a white card. So when these cards are joined up, each and every quality, each and every answer that you gave in the test, or each and every test that you perform, gives you a stroke either of a card of a green, red or white. You collect maximum of the green cards, and then a picture of yours emerges which may appear predominantly green, and therefore you get selected. There should be very few reds and if you are, there will be some whites which will indicate that you have wasted that opportunity to project your personality. But white may not contribute towards your not selection, but the less number of reds will certainly give you a boost towards presenting you as a better personality and you're winning the SSB. Also, let me tell you, the SSB selection system is like marketing. It's like self-marketing. The people who are sitting in the SSB, the various examiners, you are like the vendor who are selling the goods, they are like the customers. So they are looking for the best product that they can buy, and you are coming and showcasing your items. Similarly, when you go for SSB, you have to do self-marketing. You have to give your qualities, you have to express yourself, you have to express what qualities you have, what is your potential, what is the talent within you. If you don't give out, then the examiners will not come to know. Even you may be very good, you may be better than the people who got selected, but the people who got selected were probably a little more smarter or a better salesman who could project their qualities well and therefore were able to impress the examiners. Okay, so now we come to the SSB. You have been called for the SSB. You arrive a day prior to the SSB test that starts. Let me tell you one more aspect of it. You are going to get selected for a disciplined force where discipline is the hallmark, and the image of a defense officer is always, you would have seen, immaculate, well-dressed, good, disciplined soldier. So you are going to join that cadre, an elite force, and therefore your attitude right from the first day should show that you certainly belong to that category and you have come yourself to get selected. So have a good haircut, should be proper haircut, well groomed. If you have a beard, kindly shave it. You don't want to shave, have a well groomed beard if you so desire, but you should look neat and clean, well groomed, well dressed. We are not looking for casual people, we are looking for sincere soldiers. So right, you arrived on the first day. First day will be your entry and your document check will be carried out. So when you carry your original certificates, please make a proper file, put them in the correct order, because that is the impression that is created when you present your documents. And the next day will be the stage 1. On the day 1, stage 1, first is the intelligence test where basic reasoning, logic and certain questions based on your aptitude are asked, reasoning questions. You will not, you can do some preparation before going either in the coaching or at home. A large number of books and online tests are available, but it is not necessary. Your basic logic and the application will come out in this. These results are checked there and then there is a picture perception test. In the picture perception, you are shown a picture which you form your own story about that picture, what you conceive out of that picture, what you feel. You make a story out of that picture. That story should reflect certain positivism, certain positivity in your thought process. And then you write down your story, submit it there, and that is followed after that by a discussion in which all the three, that is the psychologist, the GTO and the interviewing officer, that is the president of the vice president, all three factions sit together. And during that, you first present your story, what you have written, and then there is a discussion that follows. Kindly, firstly, that also gives out your positivity. Secondly, it shows your expression, how you have logically presented your story. And thirdly, your ability to take part in the discussion. And fourthly, you should not be changing during the discussion whatever you have written. Stick to what you feel is right and follow that. Do not change your opinion as the things progress. So all three feel that this candidate is okay, or even if he is doubtful, even if one or two says that he is a borderline case, he is doubtful, they let him go into the stage 2. But all those who are absolutely gone case and all the three examiners feel that no, this person is not going to make the grade, he is not the one material which we are looking for, and definitely they are dropped. Now we'll talk about the stage 2. In the stage 2, the first day is the psychology tests. These are basically civilian psychologists who take out various tests As I told you, they want to make a image of you, a psychological image of you, how positive you are, how helpful you are, what are your value systems, what are your thought process in helping others, your human nature, and these things come out through various types of tests. They take a thematic appreciation test in which they show you some pictures, give you some time, and then few time to write a story about it. They'll show you a word, give you a few seconds and make a sentence out of it. Now all these you use to add a green card to your mosaic, to your image, and not let it go waste. Like I'll just give you an example. Let us say he is shown a word impossible. You write nothing is impossible. It's a very common phrase. And therefore it does not reflect anything about your personality. So you will get a white card. But if we use this impossible word in a positive manner to say, it is impossible for me to tell a lie, it adds a quality that this person does not want to tell a lie. Or you say, it is impossible for me to argue with my father or argue with my teacher. That shows that this person is respectful towards his seniors, teachers, his parents. And therefore it gives a green stroke to your personality. Then on day 3 and 4 are the GTO tests which are held, and during this time you may be called for interview with the Vice President of the President of the SSB, Service Selection Board. Now during this day 3 there are group discussions in which 2 topics will be given. You must speak. Boys and girls, if you don't speak, how will he come to know the vast knowledge that you have? How will you know that you can express yourself very well? You may be shy, but leave aside your shyness. Unless you market your talent, you will not be able to go through. Then there is a group planning exercise in which you are divided into various groups. You make a plan, you are given a situation, you make a plan, and then one person out of the group is nominated to present it. There are certain other tests also in which a common teamwork is projected. Now you must remember one thing, that you have come for selection, not the team. Though you should be good member of the team, you should be a helpful member of the team, you should be a good follower, but you must stand out in the team. If in a team of 10 people, they say one person to come and please present the plan, you are feeling shy and you say, no, you go and present. You should say, I will present. That is the leadership quality that is they are looking for. And therefore, you must make a mark over the GTO that you are a born leader. All these tasks are carried out. Even in the physical fitness part, where there are certain obstacles and you have to go through the test, they are basically looking at your planning, not physical fitness. You know, if you are medically fit and an average individual, they will make you physically fit during the training. The training is very rigorous. But what they are looking is that you have a plan, you have a logic in appearing into these obstacle course. You want to do the one which you are very confident first, or you are not wasting time between running from one obstacle to another, and you are going in a flow where you in that given time you can cover the maximum obstacles. So please keep that in mind, that you are the one who is being selected. Stand out as a subordinate, stand out as a leader, and stand out as a commander in various GTO tasks which are performed on the day 2 and 3. Then comes the interview. Now these interview are, by very senior people. They have vast experience in the field. So firstly, let me tell you, do not bluff, do not fake, because you will be caught. So honesty is a big virtue, and therefore be original. If you do not know a thing, everybody does not know everything, but you admit that I do not know. Yes, I know the basics about it, but I do not know the details about this particular thing. Fine, it is acceptable. When I went for my SSB, they asked me that which newspaper do you read? I said, sir, I come from a village. There's no English newspaper in those times used to come to my village. There's a Hindi newspaper that comes by afternoon, and sometimes I glance through it, and that is my only exposure to the newspaper. They accepted from the circumstances that I was coming, that was the best that I could do. Similarly for the sports, I said we form a small club, we contribute 1 rupee each, buy a ball, play sometime cricket, play volleyball, and that is my contribution to the sports. Because I go early in the morning, come back late in the evening, I can't even make use of the school facilities for sports. They accepted, and that's why I am here today. So be original, be honest, show your knowledge, give out logical, rational thinking and decision making. You should have conviction, you should have confidence in your plan which you have made. And then after the interview, in which some logical questions will be asked, some planning will be asked, and a average intelligent person who is very honest, modest, and who's got the correct virtues will be able to get through. On the final day is the conference, where there will be a closing address and the results will be discussed and then announced. In this, every candidate will come in front of the conference where everybody, all the examiners will be sitting. Firstly, be formally dressed, look smart, be positive, and when they ask you certain things, don't beg that I badly want to be selected. If you have the qualities, you will be selected. Have confidence in yourself. But if you are not, prepare well, come again. No amount of begging will get you through. So if they ask you, if you don't get selected, what will you do? You don't say, sir, my world will come to an end, I will commit suicide if I am not selected. No, sir. I have other options. I will appear for IAS exam and get through and become an IAS. I may not be fit for the defense forces because the requirements are different. I may be fit for IPS. I may be fit for IAS. I will join forest services. Have confidence in yourself. You will be through. If you're not through, have your alternative plans. Sorry, there are no marks for the final conference. There's no judgment. There's no clearance done at that time. It is only the compilation of the results. And when a candidate marches in, all three produce their results, the GTO, the psychologist, and the interviewing officer to the president. And if all three have passed him, no questions asked. If one of them has failed him and two have passed him, there is some discussion. However, all three have to say yes for a candidate to get selected. Some of the persons who go through interview, SSB interview many times and still do not pass, they say, I don't know what they check. मैं तो इतनी बार गया and I could not pass through. There is something wrong in the selection system. No, what happens is, psychologically you may not be suited for the defense forces. Your psychology does not change. So if you fail in the psychology test in the first attempt, you do not know that you failed in psychology test, but the same thing gets repeated again and again, same traits, same your negativity or same your mentality is reflected into the test again and again, and therefore you are not able to pass. Let me also cover certain myths and wrong perceptions about the SSB, which most of the students or the public in general have outside the defense forces. Some feel a very good English is required. Boys and girls, various candidates in a batch come from all over the country. They come from Northeast, they come from South, they come from the North. So therefore, everybody starts speaking in regional language. It will not be possible for them to understand. Even if everybody starts speaking in Hindi, there may be say 20 to 30% candidates who are not very good in Hindi and they may not be able to converse, or they may not be able to understand you. Therefore, as a leader, to convince others, to put across your point correctly, you should converse in a language which is understood by everybody. And therefore, a basic common working English is requirement. You have passed the UPSC exam with basic English knowledge, that is good enough. Or you can practice a little, get the hesitation over of speaking, hesitation in speaking in English. That is good enough. However, I have seen candidates wherever they got stuck and they tried to switch over to Hindi and spoke in Hindi and they still passed. So English is not a criteria for them. Your logical thinking, your knowledge and your expression, your delivery is the most important thing. Language is only a medium to convey your thoughts and convey to the maximum of the audience in the best possible manner. English is certainly not a handicap. Also, some feel that the pilot aptitude test is very technical. Let me tell you, I have passed it in the first attempt. My son is a pilot, my brother is a pilot. They all passed in first attempt without any preparation. It is the aptitude. If you have the aptitude for a skill, certainly you will get through. Then another myth is that very high standard of physical fitness is required. I can tell you a basic average physically fit person goes through it and there is absolutely no problem in passing the basic tests. because when you go for training, it will be very, very tough, and you will be put through much more higher standards of physical fitness, and during that training, they will make a man out of the boy. They will make you fit, even if you are not fit. So don't worry about that. They are not looking for very high standards, but yes, the average standard of physical fitness, one should be able to be okay. Then also some people say the officers are spying over you, and they come as cadets, they come as safai wala, they'll come as waiter in the mess and see your behavior. Sorry, nothing like that happens. But they come to know the behavior of the candidates by their conduct during those 4 days. So you should display officer-like qualities and be a gentleman in your behavior. Don't be rowdy in your behavior, because such behaviors are then reported and it may add a negative vibe to your personality. So be a disciplined soldier. You're going to join a disciplined force. If you go for the SSB, you go out to the town at night, you get drunk and come. What are you conveying? How do you expect you to be made an officer? Also, some of you feel that the bribe or approach works. As I covered in the previous series also, boys and girls, there's no amount of bribe or approach or selection works, because there are very, very independent checks. Have to take a fixed quota. There's no fixed quota. There are only fixed standards that anybody who meets this standard will be selected. They may be out of 100, 98 get selected in one batch. There may not be even one who gets selected out of the next batch of hundreds. So ultimately all these selected people are given marks, and they all add up at Delhi, not knowing, say, out of 5,000 people who were passed in the written examination, out of these 5,000, there may be 1,000 or there may be 300 only who have passed the SSB, and their marks have come. They do not know where they stand in this. So these marks are then sent to the UPSC and a common merit list comes out. So it's very difficult for anybody to apply bribe or approach and to find out where he stands till the time the final merit list comes out. Also, often it is found that there is some preference for the defense personnel. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I had said it earlier also, there is no reservation in the defense forces for anybody, even for the wards of the defense people. Yes, the children of the defense people, by the virtue of staying in that environment, are able to perform better, because that is the environment they have seen. They know much more about the defense forces than probably a boy coming from the village. But that does not mean that the person from the village will not get selected. I was the first person to become officer from my village. You should have the go in you, the aptitude, you should have the qualities in you, and definitely you will get selected. Now in the end, I would like to only say that go with lots of preparation and with least of expectations. Prepare well, and when you go to the SSB, there is a saying, lead, follow, or get out of the way. If I translate it, you should show your leadership qualities whenever you are made a leader in command task or in a group. Be the first to lead. Be a good team man. When you are called as a subordinate, be a good teammate. Contribute to the victory of the team. Contribute, stand out in the effort of the team, which the examiner should be able to notice that yes, you are a contributor to the team, you are a team man. Go with the positivity in mind, and I am sure you will be winner. Good luck, and thank you very much. I come to the conclusion of the Defense Forces series, and certainly let me emphasize, this is a career beyond excellence. Go for it, make an attempt, and I am sure you will get through. If you face any difficulty, you want any specific information, you are free to call me anytime through Life Shiksha. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.